Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Daily Zamboni Talk. And before we start today, I just want to thank you all so much for joining me. And if you haven't yet, as always, please like and subscribe. And any comments you have, drop them down below. So, today's video is going to be about another thing, as always, things that come up in my life that I see on a daily basis that I wanted to bring to your attention because of how important they are and how much of a difference they can make in one's life. So, today's video is going to be on the topic of master the basics and keep it simple before we start getting too complicated with anything. And I think this goes for so many aspects of life. You can almost relate this to pretty much anything. Because if you don't have the basics down, you can't build off anything. It's like the old saying of building a house with no foundation, right? And I see this on a daily basis. I see people talk about these crazy business plans, these crazy investments that they have ideas of doing, and anything along these lines. And it's like, maybe before you want to do any of that, maybe get to the basics of learn how to make money first. Go out and make some real money, make some real difference in the world before you start coming up with all these elaborate plans. Same thing to do with fitness, right? These people have these crazy elaborate workouts that I'm going to do this and I'm going to break it up and I'm going to do multiple times a day. And it's like, maybe before all that goes down, maybe just get a proper exercise regime down where you can get in something you can sustain, that you can do a couple times a week, and a diet that you can adhere to, right? That is where the success is going to be, in somebody that can do the basics at an exceptionally high level. And this goes the same for sports. I played at a very high level of hockey as well, and the goal for much of my life was to play pro hockey, and I almost got there. But around the age of 20, I decided I kind of lost passion for what I was doing, so I decided to change my life and align it in different ways. However, I've played with some of the best players in the world in hockey, all over, from all aspects and all parts of the world. And what I've noticed is that they do the basics exceptionally well. Some of them aren't the most flashy players. Some of them don't do anything crazy. I mean, of course, they got an exceptional amount of skills, but they do the basics at the highest possible level. And that is really what people who are successful in any endeavor of life, they do. They do the basics at a super exceptional level. And I heard a really good saying a little while ago. I was watching some psychology videos on YouTube. Just at work, I had a little extra time, so I was watching them, and I heard such a brilliant analogy, and it was by the psychologist, and he said that you can go to a 5-star restaurant, maybe a Michelin-rated restaurant, somewhere super expensive, and they can have the most elaborate menu, they can make the most amazing dishes, but if you go into the restaurant and you sit down and they don't know or don't have the ability to pour a glass of water for you, what would you think of that meal? You'd probably get up and leave, or at least I would, if I asked for a glass of water, right? And I said, hey, before we get going today, I just want a glass of water. And they said, sorry, we don't do that. That's too basic for us. We only make exceptional meals for you. We only make these expensive sort of meals, expensive drinks. We can't pour water for you. That's too basic. If you think about life in a context like that, it makes perfect sense, because how upset would you be? How disappointed would you be if that exceptional restaurant that had all these crazy reviews and everybody was recommending to you, they didn't have the ability to or didn't want to pour a glass of water for you? You would think that's the most ridiculous thing in the world, right? And that's the way I see a lot of people live their life and align their life on a daily basis. They have all these elaborate plans, they try all these complicated things, but they haven't even done the basics. They haven't even poured a glass of water yet. And they haven't even mastered that, right? So master that first in all aspects of life, whether that's getting in shape, whether that's making money, whether that's having successful relationships, whether that's repairing a relationship with family members, friends. Just do the basics, right? Like a lot of times in life, people think it's complicated and it's hard to introduce yourself to people and to speak in front of people or to be in a group of maybe very successful people, when really a lot of the times it's just listening to what they want, to what they're saying. A lot of times just taking a step back and just listening will do wonders, right? Will absolutely do wonders. And just keep it as simple as you can. And the same way when it comes to, I know this is not a fitness channel, this is a motivation channel, but when I get in the gym and I've amounted to doing about 600-pound deadlift now and a couple other lifts that I'm quite proud of. And how did I do that? Did I have this plan where I go in and I do certain days, I do certain tempos and certain reps, and I do deficits and bands and chains, and there's all this complicated stuff I could do, and maybe that would improve, maybe that would progress me a little bit, a couple percent. But for me, to go in, to have proper nutrition, proper rest, and to just incrementally add a pound or two a week onto my lifts, that's it. That's how I've amounted to have a very impressive lifts in a lot of areas. And that's a perfect analogy for life. Just go in, add a pound or two. Whether that's anything you do in life. That's all you need to do. And is that glamorous? Is that exciting? No, it's not at all. Because that's just going in day after day, week after week, and just doing the basics, the basic movements, and just incrementally adding a little bit on every week. And if you can do that in many aspects of your life, you will be successful. That's just the math of it. You will be successful because if you're incrementally getting a little bit better every day, and if life is that barbell and you're adding a pound or two, every couple days, every week, you will get a lot better and you will get to where you want to be. But unfortunately, in today's world, where everybody is competing for clicks and people's time, and there's so much competition for ads and everything online, and everybody in person wants to sell the most they can. Unfortunately, by just telling people to do the basics is not exciting, and it's not going to sell anything, right? It's not going to sell anything because people always want that answer of what is going to progress me. What is the secret? What did this guy do? It's like a person do, I should say. What did they do? And truthfully and honestly, they probably just worked their ass off for the last 10 years. And that's the truth, right? You see somebody with a large accumulation of wealth, chances are they worked hard, they made a lot of money, and they made some pretty strong basic investments for the last decade or couple decades. That's all there is to it, right? That's all there is to it. Somebody with a successful physique, a happy relationship, same principle, exact same principle, right? So just, if you can take anything from this video, should be that if you can do the basics every day to the highest level, if you like a prior video to this, if you can hold yourself to the highest standards every day to do those basics the best that you can do, then you will be so far ahead of everybody. Because while everybody else is talking about what's the secret here, what am I gonna do, what am I gonna do that nobody else is gonna do, that's out there and elaborate, and the truth is there isn't anything. What you're gonna do that others are gonna do is just extreme consistency and extreme ownership for taking control of your life. And if you can master that to the highest possible level, then this world is literally limitless, because there's so many resources in this world. There's so much wealth that's going around. There's so many people in this world, so many different cultures, that if you align yourself to get a little bit better every day and do everything that I talked about in this video, then you will undoubtedly be a success. And whatever that success may look like, for some people, that's having $1,000 in their bank account extra. That's the success. For some people, it's 10 million, right? For some people, it's being able to walk around every day without pain. Or for some people, it's to have 8% body fat. There's many spectrums, but whatever that success looks like for you, do your best every day to do the basics and get it done. We'll catch you next time.